let's get into our next topic because we are talking about some news, some rumors that broke today and have been actually circulating over the past few months, actually, which is pretty crazy. There was a report out today that says that James Harden is very interested in rejoining the Houston Rockets and could join them as soon as this summer, which is pretty strange, I would say, to say the least. Now, I believe he did or is definitely planning on opting out of his player option that he has with the Sixers, and that would make him a free agent for anyone to sign. Now, he likes Houston. Could it be because he likes the team? Is the team in prime position? Could it be the nightlife and the nightclubs out there?
Maybe.
Seems pretty likely.
I don't know. Houston?
Yeah, Houston. Apparently, James Harden loves the nightlife in Houston. So I want to know, do you think this would be a good or bad idea for James Harden to rejoin the Houston Rockets?
I think it's a bad idea. I mean, that team, they don't have a very good team. They're in last place this year, I think, right? They didn't have any didn't even come close to making the playoffs. Right? Why does he want to go there?
Nightlife.
Oh, the nightlife? Well, that's not good for I don't think the team would want him if that's his main reason for coming. He'll be out there hungover the whole time. Huh? So, I don't know. He's a funny guy. I like him. You know, he does some nice things. In one of the games there was a guy that was crippled, and he was in a wheelchair, and James Harden dedicated his game to him, and at the end of the game, they won. He had a fantastic game. It was against the Celtics, and he signed his shoes and gave it to the guy. He's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. Is he in the best shape all the time? This season I think he was, but he was inconsistent in the series against the Celtics.
Right.
He had 2 games where he was lights out, and then the other games he was sometimes nowhere to be found. I didn't understand that. I mean, all you got to do is stand back there and take that step back 3. How hard is that to do? You can do that anytime you come down the court. Why not try it 5 or 6 times? Sometimes he wasn't doing it at all. So why does he want to go back there? I guess he'll be the number 1 player for sure. Maybe he doesn't want the pressure of going deep into the playoffs because it won't happen there. Unless they go out and make some trades or something and get some good players, or they must have a pretty high draft pick.
They have the number 4 pick.
Number 4 pick. So, maybe they can improve their team. And but he wouldn't be the person they build around, that's for sure. He's getting old.
Fair.
So, I don't know. Are they interested in him, Houston?
I mean, we got to think about this. If James Harden, I think if James Harden decides to go, first of all, I want to say this before
you have to pay him a lot of money.
I agree. I definitely with that. He wants financial security and probably just chill in wherever the last team, whatever state his team's in. That's probably where he's going to remain. What's funny is that a report came out today along with this one, or it may have came out yesterday, that Doc Rivers firing, James Harden apparently had a decent amount of input on the firing of Doc Rivers.
And now he wants to opt out.
Now it seems like...
That's a little odd.
It seems like it's, taking a shot and going. What I think maybe Belichick, a little sabotage, a saboteur, James Harden is. Maybe saying, hey, well, you don't have a head coach. But the funny thing is, and talking about Houston is, if this is what James Harden wants and he wants to jump right back into the Houston spotlight, where he was an MVP. He averaged well over 30 points a game with Houston several times. He averaged at one point 36 points a game.
They never did well in the playoffs. They never did well in the playoffs.
Injuries. You had Chris Paul. You were up against the Warriors. It was very, very difficult to get through. However, I will say this. If it is really about the nightlife, because for damn sure you ain't making the playoffs and you ain't winning NBA Finals, that's for 100. Mark it down right now. Was it May 19th, 2023? If James Harden goes to the Rockets, they won't even sniff the NBA Finals. Part that down. I guarantee you. I don't think anyone would disagree with that.
Maybe they get a great draft. They draft somebody who turns out to be good. They trade for a player or 2. That. Maybe they get to the play-in. Right. They might make it to the play-in.
The play-in has allowed teams that generally wouldn't make it to actually make it.
I like that setup.
I
like that setup.
I completely agree. It helped.
You really have to be in the top 6.
Well.
You have to be in the top 6 to guarantee.
Top 6, to get guaranteed
and
then
you risk it in just 2 games of play.
Makes the regular season mean just a little bit more.
Yeah.
You put in a little bit more effort.
Yeah, I like that.
But I will say this. If James Harden is going to go to Houston, not for winning, but for chilling in Houston again, well, he may have difficulty. And maybe the Rockets don't want him because we forget. Who's the Rockets head coach? Ime Udoka. who takes no BS, and we saw with the Celtics, Ime Udoka. He requires 110% effort, especially on defense. James Harden is not a great defender, and he's kind of casual now, I would say. He doesn't really, when Embiid's out there, the chemistry with the 76ers seems off. But we see that he could still perform when he needs to. He scored two 40-point games.
Game 1 against the Celtics.
As well as Game 3.
Wow.
2 40-point performances in the Celtics series. So we know he can go out and score points like he used to, but on a more consistent basis while also playing tough defense, which Ime Udoka, I guarantee you, will force each of his players to do.
I don't understand why Oklahoma didn't win the NBA championship when they had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden on the same team.
Well,
and they were all young.
Well,
how come they didn't win it?
They made it to one, and then
I don't understand why they didn't win it.
They lost the Heat, I think, in 5. But then you also got to remember the season before KD joined the Warriors, when they still had that, I believe they still had that big 3 at that time. It was them up 3-1 against the 73-9 Warriors. Warriors came back and won a 3-1 series. So yes, while the Warriors have also choked the 3-1 series, then cried to Durant about bringing him onto the team. KD also choked the 3-1 lead and crawled to the Warriors. And they joined forces, and you know what? That 3-1 deficit, or the 3-1 lead, and then you fell down 4-3, happened in the same year. So, I don't know what it is. KD decided to move on. James Harden, moved on to sort of greener pastures, then went to team up with KD in Brooklyn. He seemed to be about 60 pounds overweight. People were saying fat suit. And then all of a sudden, he just wanted to leave Brooklyn, go to Philadelphia for a couple years.
He had a pretty good run in Philadelphia.
There was also a rumor he could be joining Phoenix, rejoin KD. That's a bad idea. That's a terrible idea because that affects your status and KD's status as well. He's starting to look
like a journeyman.
I would agree.
A bunch of teams now.
Maybe he started. He's played for 4 teams, but the previous 2 not looking too good. Not looking too good. The end of the Rockets run was okay. Not great, but not terrible. So I would say bad idea if you want to win. And I honestly think bad idea if you want to just chill and enjoy the nightlife because your head coach demands you put in effort on every single play and especially on defense. So I don't think you'll be living the nightlife up in Houston like you maybe once did with Mike D'Antoni as your head coach. Because you got a guy who cares about...
Mike D'Antoni didn't care about defense.
I mean, he
was a run and gun.
I would agree.
They were a run and gun.
Yeah.
3-point shooting, that was it.
I mean, it was...
They had some success with it,
definitely.
But not enough to win the championship.
Hard to go through the Warriors with the squad they had, but... also they dealt with injuries. Chris Paul got hurt probably in the worst of ways a couple years in a row where they could have beaten the Warriors, but they just couldn't. So... Overall, I think this is a bad idea on both accounts because I don't think Ime Udoka will let James Harden enjoy the nightlife as I think he's hoping for. Don't join Phoenix. That's just bad for you and KD. Big narrative. KD doesn't do with crushing narratives very well. You denied your player option. How many? I mean, I think his market would be decently sized. I would say. I mean, he showed at the playoffs he can still shoot. He's averaging over 20 points a game still. He averaged, I think, the most assists in the season. Yeah, he averaged 10.7 assists per game, most in the league. So, I don't know who's going out to get him. Could it be that he goes to there could be a potential. Sign and trade. Think about this. Ooh, big brain moment. Here we go. Now, I don't think necessarily this team needs a guard, but I do think this could be a big, help to this team because... The Portland Trail Blazers said that they will probably trade away their 3rd overall pick to get a superstar to help Dame win a championship. Could it be the Rockets sign and then trade James Harden away to Portland in some sort of trade package that I'm sure could be solved?
You think James Harden is the answer to get Portland to the
maybe.
championship?
Now they don't need a guard, so this could be unrealistic. But with the talent James Harden has,
Portland has Lillard, and they were terrible this year.
They have the 3rd overall pick.
How are they going to get to the championship if they just add James Harden?
Hey,
they got to need more than that.
I just threw it out there because I remember sign and trade. The Portland wants to get rid of their 3rd pick. and get a superstar player. James Harden has performed. He's shown he can perform. Just shooting darts. I will say this about this pick. I can't remember if I said Portland or the Pelicans would make it to the finals. Either way, I completely whiffed on that. So I will say that. But James Harden, I think me and you could both agree, bad idea either way.
Yes.
I would definitely say so. But the question is, the looming question will be, if it's a bad idea either way, what's his next move? And I think that's a big mystery.
Maybe he'll stay at Philadelphia.
Then I wouldn't. I don't think he has fully denied his player option yet. But if he already has, you're kind of screwed, I would say. Unless Philadelphia's going to come and give you a deal.
Yeah, that hasn't said that he's.
I can't remember if I saw a report that he's already done it or is basically going to do it.
Yeah.
Here, so I'm not too sure, but I think it'll be interesting to see what his next move will be. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.